and welcome to the latest episode of Beyond the Reels. I'm Mollie Chapman, business journalist at CasinoBeats and SlotBeats, and I'm joined today by Relax Gaming's Chief Product Officer, Simon Hammon, who will guide us through Relax's sequel title, Money Train 2, which was actually named Slot of the Year at our CasinoBeats Game Developer Awards last year. How are you doing today, Simon?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. So just to start us off, could you give us an overview as to what players can expect when spinning the reels in Money Train 2?
It's quite a lot going on in Money Train 2, and I think that's why it's been very popular. When you first open up the game, you'll see some kind of Mad Max style apocalyptic theme, so it's a little bit darker theme than perhaps you're used to. Very strong characters, lots of different bits and pieces that are popping off on the reels at all different times. So it's quite an engaging, fun game with a slightly dark theme twist.
That's great, and the title actually includes quite a range of features. Could you sort of walk us through them, please?
Well, this might take a while.
That's fine.
Money Train 2 is packed with features, and I think that's one of the key things that made it so appealing. And the fact that those features can pop up in all different scenarios and combinations really keeps the player experience quite unique. We have some base game features, like a respin feature, and we also trigger the free spins by three scatters or three bonus symbols. And that's where things start to get pretty interesting. And it's all about the free spin feature within Money Train 2, and I think that's what players have really latched onto. We have quite a few special features, and that's what the key DNA of Money Train 2 is. And you've got what you call a payer feature, and she will lay on extra multipliers to different numbers. You have a collector feature, which will then suck up all of those multipliers on the reels to compound a number. You'll have a collector payer, which will do both. You have a sniper that will randomly select 3 to 8 symbols and put multipliers on those numbers. You have a thing called a necromancer, which then brings back to life special symbols, and that can do anything between 2 to 7 times. You have a reset plus feature, which essentially reloads the reels and adds an extra spin in, so it can really make a massive difference to your wins. And then you've got the special features, which are all the persistence. So you have a persistent payer, persistent sniper, and a persistent collector. So if you haven't played Money Train 2, there's a lot of different features there, and they all do different things. But the main thing it's doing is creating a compounded win experience. So you can start off a little bit slowly, and you get up to sort of times 50, times 60, and then all of a sudden a collector comes in. Then you times 100, then a sniper drops in and is multiplying that by 300. All of a sudden you can really escalate the wins up, and we've had some absolute crazy wins on Money Train 2.
So Money Train 2 did actually win our Slot of the Year award at 2021's CasinoBeats Summit. I was wondering, out of curiosity, why do you think that this title was successful?
Yeah, well, we're very proud of that award. It means a lot, and I think, especially in 2021, Money Train 2 was probably the biggest game release in the industry. Subjective, of course, but I think largely most people would agree. What is the main reason why it's so successful? I think it's never one factor, right? So I think the theme attracted a lot, but ultimately I think it was the combination of wins that you could get, and actually the fact that the game does pay out crazy amounts of wins, and very tangible. We had our first full winner, 50,000 times the bet, I think within under 3 hours. And since its launch, I actually checked before, we had 651 50,000x winners. We've had 7,444 10,000x winners. We've had over 275,000 1000x winners. So that shows that the game pays out frequently. You can get some really big winning opportunities from Money Train 2. It's not just one of those games that has win potential plastered on it. It actually does have great potential when you're playing it. And there's countless videos, countless screenshots of massive wins on Money Train 2, and I think that attracted not only the casual player base, but also the VIP player base, looking for big win potential.
And since the awards, you've made several adaptations to Money Train. I wondered, why did you choose to continue the franchise, and what lessons did you learn from the second title?
So the Money Train original was very well received, did very well. But when we were developing that game, we had so many features that we wanted to put in. So there's actually so many ideas that we thought we could iterate on that mechanic. And that's where Money Train 2 came through. Since then, we've also looked at the game and go, okay, with the regulated landscape that we have, it's quite a feature buy heavy game. People want to fast track to the free spin feature. So we created something called bonus reels, which is totally unique and innovative in the business, mostly for the UK market, but where you just literally can fast track to the action very, very quickly. I don't know of any other game that has that type of flow. So it allows, the game flow allows so much iteration, essentially. And that's why we are looking at expanding the franchise even further, to be honest. So we have so many cool ideas, so many things that you can do with it.
Interesting. The bonus reels that you were saying about, what kind of reaction have you had from that? Would you say that it has made it more accessible to other markets?
I mean, the fundamental of bonus reels is that it takes an average of 150, 200 spins, depending on the game, obviously it varies, to enter a bonus game. We made bonus reels where there's no baseline symbols. You just literally are playing it to see, can I hit the bonus? And we do that almost 1 in 10 spins. So you hit a bonus every 1 in 10 spins. Obviously, the payout of that free spin is proportionate. So whereas you get 50,000x on the Money Train 2 original, you get 5,000x on the bonus reel. So it's opened up the Money Train mechanic to a market where, especially in the UK, it's been very well received there, which it wants to fast track to the action, but doesn't have a buy feature available to do that and bypass that. So yeah, it's been very well received, but it's a totally different flow. If you're a Money Train 2 fan, you probably want to play the original. If you're in the UK and don't want to grind through a base game to get to the feature, you're likely to play Money Kart 2.
Right. And speaking of sequels, what impact do you think sequel titles have on player retention and acquisition? Like, does it affect the popularity of the original title?
In some cases, I would say it can, more often than not, negatively affect the original title, especially if the follow-up isn't strong. Money Train 2 was one that actually did completely the opposite. It helped the original game. It didn't cannibalize on the original traffic because the sequel was so good. It's off once you have something really great, it's quite difficult to create an even better variant. And I think Money Train 2 was one of those examples where if you're going to do a sequel, you're going to do it well and put the love in and create something different rather than just trying to use the IP for some leverage. So I would say typically there might be some reactivation of old players who used to like the original, who might want to try it and then come back to the original game. That can happen. But I would say it's tough to make a good sequel that is going to captivate a new audience and actually grow above and beyond. And Money Train 2, I think, is more of a rarity than the rule in that sense.
Yeah, do you think there's sort of maybe a trick to it in releasing a sequel and also making it bring more attention to the original?
I wouldn't say there's a trick because every game is different, but I think what you need to do is ensure that the sequel has some familiarity. I mean, Money Train and Money Train 2, they have the same kind of characters, although they've been changed. They have, it is a train and it's the same type of mechanic. But what you need to do is ensure that you really try and differentiate the second or third offering with new features, new functionality, new win potential, new flow. So it's different enough that players find interesting, not just, oh, it's the same IP but with a light twist. You really got to invest time to make that sequel strong.
Obviously, Simon, we are currently looking forward to the CasinoBeats Summit 2022 and the Game Developer Awards. So which of your titles do you think will do well this year?
Well, we submitted a few. We've submitted a couple for music and the innovation, and I think the retro category and design and narrative. And we've got a couple of great entries, I hope. I think music-wise, we have a game called Top Dogs, which was such a beautiful soundtrack. We even had operators and players requesting it as for their ringtone. So it was like it really captured it. But we have some the retro style. We've done a lot with 8-bit style. We did a game called Santa Stacks. And from a narrative and design point, I think one of the best looking productions, not only from Relax but in the industry, released in Q4 was a game called Cluster Tumble. Beautiful 3D graphics, highly engaging production, great narrative. So fingers crossed. Obviously, it's always nice to be recognized for great game design and great product development, and we hope that the players and community appreciate what Relax is doing on that front, and we try and produce high quality stuff ultimately.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you there as well. And to finish us off today, Simon, what else can your players look forward to seeing from you for the rest of the year?
Well, we've got a lot cooking. I think one of the main undertones from Relax is that we want players to look forward to the productions Relax is coming out with. That's why we don't do skins. We always invest in unique mechanics, volatility, and interesting design. So none of our games typically look the same or have the same flow. This year we've got some pretty exciting stuff coming. We've got a pretty big announcement next week in terms of a unique, innovative product. Sorry, I can't really tell that much more about that. But if we're talking about Money Train 2, and I've alluded to the fact that we have so many great ideas and so many different extensions, and maybe there might be another one coming this year. Who knows?
Very exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Simon, and for talking about your award-winning title. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.